Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel, our social media, or our website. It's in the description below. Reach out to tmosso@thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing the Jaeger-LeCoultre Polaris Automatic. 41mm in stainless steel. This is a watch that debuted in 2018 with the arrival on the 50th anniversary of the Polaris 68 of a full line of Polaris watches. So this timepiece right here, 41mm in stainless steel, is actually quite reasonably slim, as in profile it's 11.4mm thick, which makes it about a millimeter thinner than a Rolex Daytona. It's 47.6mm lug-to-lug, but if you include the end links of the bracelet, which do swell it a little bit, it's 49.6mm across your wrist with a 21mm spacing between the lugs. The watch is comfortable, and as you can see, it fits flat and flush. The lugs are short cropped, and as you can see, rather stubby, so it doesn't project beyond the wrist. And the timepiece feels light and wieldy, so if you have a smaller wrist, even as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, I think this is going to be a good match for you. If you want to wear it as a dress watch, you'll have no trouble fitting it underneath the sleeve. As you can see in profile, it sits absolutely low and close cropped to the wrist. Taking a quick look at the hardware. It's nicely executed, as there is a conforming end link profile that traces both the arc of the case and the slope of the lugs. The intermediate links are satinated, and you can see the primary links are all of high polish. JLC did use pins here, which requires you to use a block and a punch if you wish to size the bracelet, but it's quite solid in its construction. As you can see from the bottom, it also has channels to avoid pinching skin, pulling hair, or trapping wrist heat. Now, there are small incremental extensions built into the clasp, and you can see them right here. There's about 2.5mm of incremental adjustment on each side. So you have two of these, and they work a lot like Rolex's Easy Link to allow you to take in or take out length without a tool. The clasp itself features a spring-loaded block at the center that is the mating surface for a quadruple trigger double deployment. So you use 4 fingers to press 4 triggers, and that opens the clasp. It is quite secure and ideal for sporting purposes. Taking a look at the profile of the case, it's inspired by the Polaris 68, but not slavishly so. The Polaris 68 case band was all of high polish and relatively narrow. Here we have a combination of satin finish and expanding polished bevels. We also have a polished and narrow outer bezel. We have 2 knurled crowns with the JL logo rather than the quadrille or quartered pattern on the original Polaris 68. And you can see the lugs are somewhat broken out from the case band, so it's not a monotonous sweep of satin in profile. The dial itself is handsome and has a couple of different blue finishes. You can see there's a matte finish outboard for the internal rotating bezel. The watch is 100 meters water resistant and a light duty dive watch. And then inboard, you can see there's a lovely pebbly frosted finish for the hour and minute track, a little bit like what you'll find on a Patek Philippe Calatrava Pilot. And the applique indices and quarter Arabics look great. If you're of a no-date persuasion, this model is for you. And then there is a sunburst metallic blue center with an applique JL logo. The dial looks expensive. It's proper for a brand of this pedigree to have a dial that is commensurate to that tradition. It doesn't seem flat, it doesn't seem cheap, and I approve. The case back of the watch is unusual in that we're not used to seeing some of these JLC movements. This is caliber 898 E1 to be specific. It's an automatic winder with 2 refinements that make it more efficient and, frankly, less maintenance intensive. The rotor winds unidirectionally, which means it winds only in one direction. That's more efficient than bidirectional, made more efficient and less maintenance intensive by the use of ceramic bearings, which do not need to be lubricated. Now, the balance itself is free sprung for toughness. That's a change over the old 889s. You can see the free sprung regulator. It still beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and the watch has a power reserve of approximately 40 hours. It also includes a stop seconds function, and it pivots on 30 joules. I should mention that the rotor itself features Côte de Genève, and it's made of tungsten, and the bridges feature likewise linear Côte de Genève with true fired blue screws. Every JLC watch features some element of hand finishing and handcraft. There is no completely machine-made JLC watch, so you know you're always getting an haute de gamme product, even if you're not buying yourself a Duomet or an Ibris Mechanica. Now, the timepiece has been through the Master 1000 hours control, and it's important to note that that is a fully cased-up test, not the COSC's bare movement test. It tests the watch in multiple positions, at multiple temperatures, winding efficiency, power reserve, shock resistance, and water resistance. So the Master 1000 hour control that's mentioned on the case back is a concrete and comprehensive test of the watch's total quality. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Jaeger-LeCoultre Polaris Automatic. And we are back by night with the Polaris Automatic. You can see the bidirectional internal rotating dive bezel.